Hey folks, a couple of you were asking me, what if I've already gone like halfway through the install or two-thirds of the way through, and then, it's a few days later and now you want to continue and you don't know, maybe you want to repeat some steps. You can repeat the steps, you can start out from the beginning, or you can you can redo some steps, but there is one step that's going to be a little troublesome, and that is the MySQL. For those of you who probably, some of you already know this, but in case you didn't, if you try to go into the MySQL and create create the user a second to repeat the process of creating, you're going to run into an error. For example, I'm not going to delete the user here because I'm actually actively reading. I'm actually doing my readings. But as a matter of fact, you can check this out right here. Look. So if I logged into as the logger, okay. Say I am at the stage where I want to install, or right after I installed MySQL. So I log in as root, right? Okay, now remember at this step we were talking about adding the logger or adding tables. Okay, both of these things, by the way, are things you cannot do a second time if you've already been doing it. Okay, so let's say we wanted to do this: create database okay, you want to create it, except the database already exists. Okay, and also, by the way, pay attention to this. Whatever error you get, usually Google is your friend. Okay, so let's say, for example, I'm not around to help. I always tell you all already this, which is go look it up. But here it already gives you an idea. You can look up that whole thing. So we can just go to Google, okay, and just type MySQL. And then I don't put all the words because some of the words are repeated, and the name temperatures is unique to us, so we don't really use that. Here we go. So it tells you right there. Oh well, we can't create it. And just look through some of them. Don't just look through one. Go look through a few to get a good idea of what's going on. Okay. So anyway, the problem with this one is that you need to know how to delete the table. Okay. Basically, it's telling you that you have to. So if you want to do that, you can do either one of two things. Either you can use the table that you already have, or you can delete it and create it again. But you have to know the command to delete. In the previous video, I didn't show you how to do that. You can also do that with users, by the way. Let me just go ahead and show you the error with users, okay? Which in this case, okay, if we go ahead and say create user logger at localhost identified, same error. Well, not the exact same, but I mean the same kind of error, because the error is already there. This one just doesn't tell you like the other one. But if you go look up error 1396 on MySQL, it's going to tell you kind of the same thing. So, MySQL error 1396. And when you're looking, like I said, always look at more than one, especially if you got, a couple, or then, of course, the next thing you're going to do is, well, then go ahead and, once you understand that it's an error of having extra users, then you might be like, oh, well, okay, well, what do we do? Well, then just type MySQL delete and learn how to find these things on your own. I mean, I'm always, I like to help, but there's always going to be something that I didn't include. So, oh, well, here we go, the actual MySQL people. So, if sometimes, though, the reference manual is really, really, really dry. It's like, for beginners, it's not friendly. So, if you don't like the reference manual, go to the other sites and see what they say. But here it's telling you, this one's actually pretty easy. Look, drop user Jeffrey at localhost. So it's just saying drop the user. Once you're done dropping him, then you can add him again. Okay. In my case, though, my user is running. So as a matter of fact, if you look, I've got a bunch of readings. And this is, by the way, what you need to be showing me. A shot of your picture readings with the latest readings at the bottom. You should have a bunch of them. Okay? So, now you know what to do if you run into some sort of error. Google is your friend. Go look up the error first to understand what it is. Okay, here's one more error real quick because somebody just asked me. So I thought I would help on this one too. Look, say you're already using your user. Here I just created a test account. Okay, so this is not something, but because I don't want to affect the account that I'm using, the logger account. But let's say you've got a user that you want this user to grab a table. Say you want, you go ahead and you log in and you say use temperatures, and you get this error 1044. Okay, once again, like I said, there's all kinds of errors, so you may get a different one. It just means that there's a step in here that you didn't do. Okay, in this case, if you go look it up, you're going to understand it says access denied. What it's telling you is that when we went through the step of creating the tables, okay, remember in the previous video at about the 8-minute mark, you create the tables. Remember you're logged in as root, then you create your database, then you use that database, then you create the user, and here's the important point. You grant all privileges on that database to that user. And then you flush privileges. That's not as important. But the point is, all that this error tells you is that you didn't do that step of granting all privileges. So I can't do anything. Whatever I do, because remember, this is a lower level user. He has fewer permissions. Whenever you create a new user, you have to give him permissions. So here, the only thing we can do is quit out, log in as root. Okay. We go in as root. We say grant all privileges on temps dot asterisk to test at localhost There we go. And then we flush privileges. We quit. We log back in as the test account, the account that we said we had that had fewer permissions. We try to use temperatures. And as you can tell, now you can access them. The only difference, like I said, I'm using test. In your case, it's probably going to be the logger account that you're going to have the problem with. So pay attention to what I'm doing here, okay, so that you can apply it in your case. In each case, it's going to be a little different, but I still hope that you will remember, whatever else is happening, Google is your friend. Go look it up. Anyway, once you understand the logic, then a lot of things become much clearer. Right now, though, since most of you, it's still all magical, it's even more important that you watch the videos, that you look up the errors on Google, and let the others kind of start to guide you. And the more you do it, the more everything will start to make logical sense. And then from there on out, you'll be cool. Okay? So, hope that helps. Okay, take care. Bye.